So the event week in GTA Online is nearing its refresh. With this, here are 5 things you should do before this date. As usual, this will include the 5 best things in my opinion, which I would say that you do not want to miss. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing that I do want to cover will be the Vinewood Undead collection. If you have been completing the weekly challenges over the last 2 weeks, this will be the last event week where you need to complete the weekly challenge to get the Vinewood Undead collection. In terms of the unlocks, you will get the Slasher Clown outfit, the Please Stop Me mask, the Vinewood Zombie tee, and the Skulls livery for the Mammoth Avenger. Quite unfortunately with this weekly challenge, which is to win any adversary mode, it might be just a little bit more challenging, especially if you play solo the majority of the time, but if you have already completed the previous 2 weekly challenges, I would still at least try and complete this one, as it might not be available again and you might miss out on all of these clothing items. In this same section, I also wanted to include this clothing item as well. To get this one, you need to collect a business battle crate, and you will receive the orange vintage witch mask. And again, unfortunately, if you only play in invite-only sessions by yourself, you will need to have at least one other player in this session, or instead just play in a full public session, and that is how you can get these business battles to spawn. So potentially worth trying to get if you get lucky enough for one of them to spawn in. Moving on to the bonus money from this event, we actually had a good week in terms of this. We had a triple money and RP bonus on the Halloween community series, a lot of these things to choose from, and the triple money will make it a lot better. And then where things got really nice was the double money and RP. We had the new Slasher adversary mode, which also got 4 times money for GTA Plus, the Ghost Exposed event, paying $40,000 every time you found a ghost, and $100,000 after completing all 10. And the best bonus was of course the Acid Lab sell missions. Just selling all of the stock of the Acid Lab when fully upgraded and changing your product name will get you just a little over $700,000. So really straightforward, probably one of the best businesses even without the bonus money, just in terms of simplicity. And then just remember, if you sold your Acid Lab stock in a public session, you would get roughly around $1 million. If you have not been doing the Acid Lab sell missions, hopefully you can still take advantage of the different things. For example, the Ghost Exposed event is still alright to do, but I do not believe you can do it again, at least in this week. Still not bad for the amount of cash you get, and it can be quite fun. I would also probably suggest playing the Slasher adversary mode, which is set on a submarine. It will be worth doing, especially if you want to collect the Vinewood Undead collection, alongside being really fun to play through. At this point, we do have our discounts from the event. Altogether, the discounts are honestly not bad. Just like the last 2 events, we had all of the Halloween masks being free, a nice 30% off all of these different vehicles, and even the Acid Lab. There are some pretty nice ones there. I would probably say that the Autark, Cypher, Sugoi, and even potentially some of these different Halloween-themed vehicles will be nice for that 30% off. The last discounts were also at the gun van, and this one is really similar to the last 2 event weeks as well, because we got a 40% off the Railgun, 30% off for GTA Plus members on the Tactical SMG, and 50% off for GTA Plus members as well on the Shocker, Widowmaker, Up Anatomizer, and Unholy Hellbringer. Still worth checking out the gun van, because all of these weapons are still pretty nice. But yeah, in terms of vehicles, I definitely think these ones are the best. One thing that I have not tested is the 30% off the Acid Lab. I'm not entirely sure if you guys can complete the first dose missions, get the Acid Lab vehicle for free first, and the upgrade cost for the Acid Lab will be 30% off then. Obviously, this is something that I cannot try because I have already upgraded my Acid Lab and installed the Acid Lab, but if any of you guys can verify that, make sure to leave a comment. Moving on again, we do have the event week money methods or weekly money methods. So this will be a few things that do refresh with each weekly update. First of all, we have the new FIB priority file. And for this week, it probably is the best priority file you can do. It is, of course, the fine arts file. The challenges for this one and just overall how easy it is to complete and fully set up just makes it by far one of the most efficient ones to do. Worth completing if you have the Garment Factory. Arguably, the best weekly money method will be the salvage yard robberies this week. Not really in terms of making money, although it is still really recommended that you complete all 3 and sell them to Yusuf for the most cash. But this week we actually got a claimable salvage yard vehicle at long last. This will be called the Albany Brigham. It will also have the LS Pounders plate. So if you guys are into your rare vehicles, especially the salvage yard claimable ones, it is probably recommended to complete this one and claim it for yourself. After completing this salvage yard robbery, it will cost you between $10,000 and $20,000, and getting really any vehicle for this price nice, especially a rare one like this is very nice. The last weekly money method will be the time trials. There is not really much to say on these ones, always worth doing if you guys have a suitable vehicle. For me at least, I just love using the Hakuchu drag with the HSW upgrades. The final thing that you definitely want to look at this week will be the free cars. Starting off inside the casino, the Lucky Wheel podium vehicle is a surprisingly really nice one. This is called the Pifter Neon. To get it for completely free, just spin the Lucky Wheel before October 23rd, and with some luck you can get it just in time before the event refreshes. I love how this one looks on the podium, it really does stand out. Leave a comment below if you guys have got this yet, and let me know what you think. And the second free vehicle was the LS Car Meet Prize Ride. This is the Kavos V6. At the time of this video, you will have just enough time to complete this because you need to place top 5 in the LSCM series for 3 days in a row. So probably worth completing if you guys are into these things. It will still be a free vehicle, which is always nice, and it is not bad by any means. I believe this one can also have access to the drift upgrades, which might give you more of a reason to get it for free. Now for some honourable mentions, we do have all of Simeon's Auto Shop vehicles. A lot of these ones were returning, and of course we do have all of the Halloween themed vehicles. So it might be worth going over here and test driving some of them. And the second honourable mention will be inside the LS Car Meet test track. The standard test track vehicles are all returning, which in turn will make them rare, and just like Simeon's Auto Shop, potentially worth test driving them, seeing what you think, and potentially even buying one. So yeah, that will really do it for this event week video, just showing you guys 5 things that you want to get, or at least try and complete before October 23rd. I think this event week was actually a really nice one, especially with the Acid Lab double money, and some of the different clothing unlocks you could get. Hopefully you guys have made millions of dollars just from the Acid Lab alone, or in the very least set up a Acid Lab. I am hoping in the next week that we do get the Ludendorff Cemetery Survival. It will be really nice to see this one returning, hopefully in the next week. If you do not have the Acid Lab yet, I would still definitely recommend trying to get it for free by completing all of the first dose missions, installing the Acid Lab with potentially that 30% off, and then completing 10 Dax Fooligan jobs to have access to the equipment upgrade. And obviously with all of these things, if you already do have the Acid Lab fully set up, you might also want to look into changing the product name to make sure that you are always making the most cash. It might not seem like a massive increase, but when double money hits, it really does pay off. The only other thing that I could suggest to you, which will probably be worthwhile as well, will be the claimable vehicle inside the salvage yard. Overall, I don't think it is the best vehicle, but then again, it is rare, especially with the LS Pounders plate, and it is not very often we get a claimable vehicle here, so it is always nice to do them when they come out. I personally cannot wait for the Ludendorff Cemetery Survival to return. Just remember the last time we saw this was all the way back last year, and if you guys are yet to play this and have never experienced it, it is really similar to the KO Preco Survival with all of the different enemy types, no minimap unless you open your weapon wheel, which already will make it quite challenging, especially with the limited space you have in the survival area. But yeah, make sure to leave a comment below and let me know what you think about this event. Have you managed to sell full Acid Lab stock? And yeah, as always, if you went on to enjoy this video or found it useful in any way, shape or form, leave a like. I always do appreciate your support, and if you are new to the channel and like what you see, subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss a video. Finally guys, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.